If you have an 1839 seeded Liberty half dollar, do not judge the coin only by its age or silver content. There is a small design detail on this first-year half dollar that can completely change how collectors identify the coin. It is called the No Drapery variety. And the interesting part is that you do not need to be an expert to start looking for it. In this detail guide, I will show you exactly where to look, what separates the No Drapery design from the later drapery version, and why this small difference matters to collectors. The 1839 seeded Liberty half dollar has an important place in United States coinage because it is the first year of the seeded Liberty half dollar series. The design is associated with Christian Gobrecht and features Liberty seated on a rock, holding a shield and a Liberty pole. The reverse shows an eagle with its wings spread, holding an olive branch and arrows. The coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, has a reeded edge, measures about 30 millimeters across, and contains 90% silver and 10% copper. Its standard weight is 13.36 grams. But the most interesting feature for this video is not on the reverse. It is on the front. Look closely at Liberty's left arm. For the No Drapery variety, there is no extra section of drapery extending beneath Liberty's left elbow. That open area is one of the easiest visual clues. Now compare that with the later 1839 drapery version. The drapery variety has an additional fold of fabric beneath Liberty's left elbow. This is not simply a difference caused by the coin being old or worn. These are recognized design varieties of the 1839 issue. PCGS identifies the No Drapery as its own major variety, and NGC also recognizes both the 1839 No Drapery and 1839 drapery versions. So if you are examining an 1839 half dollar, this is one of the first places you should inspect. Here is another interesting part of the story. The No Drapery design was the original version used at the beginning of the 1839 issue. Later in the year, the obverse design was modified. Additional drapery was added beneath Liberty's left elbow, and the shape of the rock and the surrounding design were also changed. According to NGC, the added drapery consisted of 3 folds and helped give Liberty a more balanced appearance. The later drapery version became the majority of the 1839 production. That means the No Drapery variety represents a relatively brief beginning to this new half-dollar design. And that is one reason collectors pay close attention to it. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1,872,400 seeded Liberty half dollars in 1839 overall. However, PCGS lists the No Drapery variety at approximately 100,000 pieces, making it only a portion of the total 1839 production. NGC describes the No Drapery pieces as scarce in every grade, with mint state examples being particularly rare. So when you see an 1839 half dollar, do not automatically assume that every 1839 example is the same. The variety matters. Of course, identification is only one part of the story. Condition also matters. Collectors look at the amount of wear, the preservation of Liberty's details, the shield, the stars, the eagle, the surfaces, and the overall appearance of the coin. A heavily worn example can still be an important collectible because of its variety and historical significance. A well-preserved example can be considerably more desirable. PCGS records multiple dime marriages for the 1839 No Drapery variety, showing that specialists have studied these coins in considerable detail. So, here is the simple checklist to remember. If your coin is dated 1839, first confirm that you have a seeded Liberty half dollar. Then look closely beneath Liberty's left elbow. If there is no added drapery, you may have the 1839 No Drapery variety. Do not rely on the date alone. Do not judge the variety from the coin's value alone. Look at the design. That tiny area beneath Liberty's elbow is what makes this first-year half dollar especially interesting to collectors. So, if you have an 1839 seeded Liberty half dollar in your collection, take another close look at Liberty's elbow. You might be looking at one of the most interesting varieties from the beginning of the seeded Liberty half dollar series. And that small detail is exactly why learning how to identify varieties can make coin collecting so much more rewarding. Follow the page for more educational guides on historic United States coins and the details collectors look for.